So I've just come in after work. Excuse how I look. Hopefully my artwork looks a lot better. I just want to hop on and say thank you to everyone who's been interacting with me. It's made this so much fun. It feels like I have people to talk to. I feel like my art's gotten a little bit better as we've gone through, and I'm very excited about that and very grateful. So last year I snagged an old window. It was like 28 bucks, but I had $25 gift card, so I got it for 3 doll hairs. I've had it for like a year. I've spent more time trying to figure out what I was going to do with it than I did painting it, but regardless, I hope you enjoy. I jumped right into freehanding the placement of the flowers without doing a preliminary sketch. So in hindsight, I see that I should have made the magnolia on the left a little bit smaller to contrast in size with the one on its right. I'm really impressed by the artists who paint on the back of glass rather than on the top as you see I'm doing in this video. I haven't tried painting on the back myself, but I've recently seen a few artists at street fairs accomplish this beautifully. It seems like you have to put very deliberate layers down. Like you start with your fine details first and then build onto that. I could be wrong as I've never actually done it, but needless to say, it is a lovely outcome, although it seems very challenging. I've always been very fond of magnolias. It's not the lone fact that they're pretty or the sweet smell they produce. I actually love them for a very specific reason. It's all to do with how the magnolia leaves change by the end of the summer. When I was little, I'd spend all of my summer climbing over this grand magnolia tree we had in our backyard. At some point, I discovered that when summer passes into fall, the underside of the magnolia leaves become orange and fuzzy. I'm not really sure why that's the case, but it's a very contrasting orange copper against the waxy green tops. The interesting thing about this change is that I would break the stem off of the leaf and use it as a stylus to etch into the orange fuzz. This would reveal the green, kind of like sgraffito. I'd practice writing my name and I'd spend hours drawing all sorts of things. So when I do see a magnolia tree, I get a really cozy feeling and I can't help but to want to paint them on everything. At this point, I realized I was kind of struggling with blending. I recently started using oil paints for the first time, and I think that I've grown accustomed to the ease of blending with oils. I'd forgotten how quickly acrylics dried before starting this painting. Meet Milo, my 9-pound rat boy. He's absolutely the sweetest, but he gets very jealous of anything I'm doing that does not involve petting him. He does make for a great companion though, and he's assisted me through many paintings. Here's a photo of him helping me paint a succulent when he was just 10 weeks old. At this point, once I started adding the contrasting values, I really started to see the potential end result in this, and I was so excited. I love airy botanical art. I do think the next time I get my hands on a cute little window, I could use some heavy body acrylic paint and maybe some modeling paste to make more of a 3D style vine that woves in and out of the panels. I think that could be really cool. Here I'm just adding some of those teeny tiny finishing touches and cleaning up some of my line work on those centers. I think that having the missing center pane at the bottom is kind of cool. It was missing when I purchased it, but like I said, it was about $3 post the gift card that I had. I think that if I were to keep this painting, I would add a picture of one of my own magnolia trees in my yard to fill in that missing pane.